Sorry, too early.
I've been here before, but it's been a little while ago. Good morning. And just go like
If you are not a member, as always, I have a membership book. Later on tonight, we'll do a drawing for the shotgun. If you draw your name and you're here, you get the shotgun. If you're not here, have fun. So I do a member application, you are currently a member. Must be getting old. Jerry, were you going to say a little something about when Jerry goes? What? He's always so warm. We're going to talk about it.
I don't have much I can say about it because I have not read the brief here.
You're a cop. Take it up.
Well, yeah, when you're on a traffic stop, you can make all that stuff up. They don't know if you're telling the truth or not. You all know that we are parties in a lawsuit over the FOID card. That happened a couple months ago, and the Illinois Supreme Court has accepted that, and there's a good chance we'll prevail. And yesterday, the Illinois State Rifle Association, through our plaintiffs and the Second Amendment Foundation, filed a lawsuit in Sangamon County on behalf of the small dealers. This dealer licensing bill was going to put out 2/3 of the dealers out of business, and this we hope will slow that down and stop it. Nothing's been done on it. There's still 1 or 2 copies over there if you might want to take one. Just show your group. That way, if we can win this, it'll help. If we win the FOID card thing, that really eliminates a lot of bad stuff that law, that bill that they have to do. Correct. I got another question. We don't have a speaker. Want to have another minute?
You'll be surprised.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't say that. You didn't hear me say that. I have a question on constitutional law. Does anybody here know what the Third Amendment of the Constitution is? Dave does. I do. I asked Dave. Does anybody know?
It's quartering of
Correct. It's quartering troops in your house.
Yep.
Why is that? Because back during the Revolutionary War, the British would quarter their troops in your house. They'd take it over. They would have relations with your wife. They'd eat all your food. If you had daughters, they would do that too. And that's why it's there. It's the Third Amendment of the Constitution. And most people don't even know what it is. I ask this question a lot to the guys who are supposed to know stuff, and they don't. So, it's a good question. If you want somebody who says they know all about how this stuff works, that's the question to ask them. Because if they don't know it, they don't know nothing. I'm done.
It's funny that he came and asked me that question. We don't have a speaker tonight. Somehow there was a breakdown. I'm not quite sure what happened. Doug had two women lined up from, what is it? Well, I'm with it, yeah. And he passed it on to me, and I sent him an email, and he didn't answer, and they don't have the phone number, so I don't know what happened. But, funny you should mention the third amendment, because next month we have Nick Picarillo coming in. How many people know Nick? It turns out Nick, and this surprise is not out of me, we had Nick on the show a number of years ago, and he's like this genius on the Constitution. It's been his hobby his whole life, I guess, and he just knows the Constitution inside and out. So I thought he would be a really interesting speaker. We had him on a radio show, and that was very interesting. So he will be our speaker for next month, and he'll be here because I talked to him at Threatened. Which is funny that with Threatened, because you could probably break my spine looking at it. Do we have any people who are up for re-election or running for office? Do you have anybody here who wants to get up? People don't run for office anymore? Okay, so Ted Brayley's here, who is running for 14th Congressional District, and will be against Lauren Underwood. So I thought that would be interesting. And you talk about an outsider. He was what's called the Board of Trade, and it's called the Mercantile Exchange. Somebody who actually understands money, which, can you imagine that? Having somebody in office that does. From Naperville, he has 3 daughters, volunteers in youth athletics, and he's just kind of an outsider guy that's looking to run and do some good. So if you want to get up, Ted, welcome, Ted Brayley.
Thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm going to try to be nice and loud. It's an honor to be here in front of you, even though I'm not sure many of you in the crowd are part of the 14th district, but I've lived in southwest Naperville for 21 years. The district includes parts of Will County, West, Kane County, Kendall, a little bit of DeKalb, up to McHenry, and actually over to Lake County. So a big district, kind of a C as you look at the map. But Lauren Underwood defeated multi-term incumbent Randy Holgren in 2018. And so I've decided to jump into political office, seeking political office for the first time. Truly an honor to be in front of you all tonight. And I'll explain a little bit more about why, but I also wanted to acknowledge Mike Loftus, part of my campaign team, and Kyle Walsh here with me tonight. So if you have questions, you can talk to Michael or Kyle. I'd love to get as many of your emails as possible too, so you can stay in touch. You can follow the campaign on Ted Grottle for Congress on Facebook or tedgrottle.com. But standard introduction is, my name is Ted Grottle, and I've spent my entire adult life in the private sector. So because of that, I have no political resume to tell you about tonight. I'm running, as a political outsider, I get asked this question all the time: why are you running? Or oftentimes friends or relatives of mine phrase it differently: what the hell are you thinking? But taking back 3 years, my oldest daughter, now 22, after her freshman year of college, came to my wife Sarah and I and said, "Mom and Dad, I want to join Army ROTC." And we said, you've done fantastic, we're impressed, but you have to tell us why. Because it's a big commitment, and it can't be just because it sounds cool. So she listed out some reasons. I miss being a part of a team. I want to learn their leadership training. I like the people I've met that are part of Army ROTC. I want to be around them. And then she had written answers down, and then she slid the paper across and said, looked at us and said, Mom and Dad, I love our country and I want to serve. And I could have been prouder as a dad in that moment. So that started my thinking of the idea of service to the country, combined with, I was talking to Joe and the tough questionnaires at his table, but we have to stand up and protect our freedom right now. And so once you give away your freedom, it doesn't come back. So that's pulling me to this office. And I know that's something that's very near and dear to everybody in this room tonight. Briefly on my background, I was born in Toledo, Ohio, and adopted into a very loving, hardworking family. My dad was a small business owner, paving contractor in Toledo. I attended St. John's Jesuit High School there, and upon graduation went to the University of Notre Dame in South Bend. I walked onto the football team there and was lucky enough to play for Coach Lou Holtz, fantastic coach. And my final season there was the fall of 1987. I earned the starting field goal kicker's job that year, was the team's leading scorer, and honored to be named first team academic All-American that season. Incredible playing for a guy like Coach Lou Holtz. Learned a ton from him about being a part of the team and about striving to be your best, about setting goals and accomplishing them. After Notre Dame, I moved to downtown Chicago for a very sound and noble reason. I was chasing a girl. My high school sweetheart, Sarah Anderson, got to Chicago a year and a half before I did. She got me my first job as a runner at the Chicago Board of Trade. And this August, we'll celebrate our 29th wedding anniversary. We have 3 wonderful daughters. Francie, our oldest, is 22, Andy 20, and Andy's down working on the border for a civil engineering firm. She's going to be a senior, but has an internship with Clark Construction, and she's doing work in the San Ysidro Land Port of Entry down there this summer, so that's been a great job for her. And then my youngest is 16 and going to be a junior in high school, so we're very proud of our girls. My business career began truly at a place called the Mid-America Commodity Exchange in downtown Chicago, which was the Board of Trade's version of the minor leagues back then. And I can promise you there were no corporate guarantees, no pensions, and no bailouts for independents like me. But like a lot of small business owners can understand, I took on risk, and through hard work, I've been able to achieve my version of the American dream. My priorities to date have been 100% my family, my business, and my local community. As David mentioned, I've been active in youth athletics. I've volunteered in close to 2,000 youth sporting events in our area, and have been proud to make a positive impact in our community in that way. But as I look at what's happening in our country right now, I don't like what I'm seeing, and I feel compelled to add my voice to the public debate. I love our country, and I'm proud of our country, but our federal government in D.C. is too big, spends way too much, and is more concerned with grabbing power than in doing what's right for our citizens. If you send me to Congress, here's what I plan to do. First and foremost, protect our freedom and uphold the Constitution. Ronald Reagan said, freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. I want to speak out against the false promises of socialism and a big government agenda and fight to keep our freedom. 2, I want to promote the idea of term limits for members of the House and Senate. The career politicians are not doing their job. I believe those term limits will send a different caliber of candidate to Congress with a get things done mindset rather than a build my career mindset. 3, I want to hold government accountable. We have $22 trillion in debt and counting. You look at Illinois and what's going on there. They want to tax us every chance they get, and they don't want to talk about reforming our pension system here, which badly needs reforming. They want to talk about building up their own pocketbooks and taking care of their buddies instead of doing what's right for us. And 4, I want to keep our economy growing. I trust all of you here with knowing how to spend your hard-earned dollars better than the ruling elites in Springfield and in D.C. Our economy right now, you look at President Trump came in, cut regulations, lowered tax burdens, took care of small businesses, and we have record low unemployment, record high employment, stock market, and employment numbers, manufacturing jobs coming back, so keep our economy growing. I can also promise that if I'm elected, I'll serve with honesty and integrity every single day I'm in the office. Our founders believed in citizen legislators, and that's what I'll be as long as you'll allow me. I'll be in D.C. representing you and fighting for these things we believed in, not in building a Washington career. And when my time is done, I'll be back here enjoying a better Illinois and hopefully coaching my grandkids. I hope you'll consider supporting an outsider, a newcomer with over 30 years of experience in the private sector who wants to do this because I love Illinois and I love our country. I can promise you I'll beat Lauren Underwood in 2020. I'd love your support. Let's go win that seat back for the Republican Party. Thanks so much. Everybody except him. Happy to answer any questions. Yeah. There's some very big issues we're facing, as everybody knows. I would say our $22 trillion in debt is certainly at the top of my list because we want to leave this country better off for our children and grandchildren. And what we're doing is borrowing against our country's future. The entire developed world is doing that. So somebody who's been involved in markets and understanding that we can't sustain our own households if we're running debt up every year. So number one is the debt. Number two, I do think in terms of problems we're facing right now, we're having a debate about health care in our country right now. And every family, you know, my daughter that's down in San Diego has juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. My wife's a survivor of early stage breast cancer. I have a heart pre-existing condition. But I feel like if we move the country, if we hand over health care to our federal government right now, if we let them run that whole system, everybody's going to suffer. There's going to be more waiting lines, wait times. We're going to have the right to be on a waiting list, not get health care. I believe we need to take health care in the other direction, bring back free market principles. So how we address health care right now, to me, is a big issue. Our debt. And finally, I would say right now is that border security issue. I think that's an important issue that we need to resolve. We cannot have open borders. We no longer have a country. So for me, those are the three biggest that come to mind.